Hey everyone, good afternoon. It's been a while since I posted something, but now that Cobra Kai is showing its first two seasons on Netflix, I wanted to mention something about what I had said, goodness, probably about, I don't know, at least a couple of months ago, in terms of the reason why Daniel going over to Okinawa is almost to find that Mr. Miyagi type figure. And I think I hit it on the head when I saw that 15 to 17 second preview of season three. And I wanted to throw something out there. And if I'm wrong, let me know. And I really have to go back to watch Karate Kid 2 to see. But do you know how Soto was Mr. Miyagi's brother, right? Now, the person who Daniel was fighting was Soto's nephew. So, in my opinion, I think Mr. Miyagi had another brother. I don't think just for the fact that that brief 17-second clip or 15-second clip, you see Daniel grab a weapon and then the person flips Daniel real quickly and takes the weapon from them. I don't think it would be that person. But I think the missing link here is Mr. Miyagi has another brother, or maybe another son, or a son. Because again, what everyone is having theories about is, who this person could be. And again, if you go back to the second one, he calls him his nephew, not Mr. Miyagi. Soto says that that's his nephew. So I don't know if maybe that is Mr. Miyagi's son, the one that he was fighting. As they said, well, Mr. Miyagi had a secret and he didn't believe that Mr. Miyagi would hide anything to him. Maybe that guy was Mr. Miyagi's son, or maybe Mr. Miyagi had another brother. Now, again, going back to my point, obviously Daniel already beat Soto's nephew, which I assume would also be Mr. Miyagi's nephew. But Daniel also had that 30-year layoff from karate, and being in martial arts for many years of my life, I mean, yes, once you get to a certain point in karate, it's almost like riding a bike. It just all really goes back to your basics. But that's my theory, is Daniel goes back to seek, some answers, and he runs into a relative of Mr. Miyagi. I think it's one of Mr. Miyagi's brothers or another brother. And that was maybe the biggest secret. Or, again, it could always be the one that Daniel fought. And I know in the Asian culture, some of the students, because they get brought up in karate and different types of martial arts at an early age, maybe he was training all throughout his life and he's just on another level than Daniel is. And that would make sense for him to be as good as Mr. Miyagi. And that's why Daniel takes that hard fall when all you see again is a weapon. And then I assume he uses it on the guy. Now, why would he pick up a weapon to use on the guy? That's also another question. Maybe that guy, now that I'm thinking about it and saying it out loud, maybe it is the guy Daniel fought. And maybe he thought, because you could see from the first two seasons that Daniel is a little, I think he goes a little crazy too often. Personally, I believe, and I think even the creatives had said it, that, Johnny, and that brings up a whole different point that, Johnny, I think, is the best actor in the whole show. He's my favorite character. And I think he's going to get a lot more exposure or movie roles possibly from this. But going back to my theory, maybe it is the nephew. And maybe the big secret was that was Mr. Miyagi's son. And maybe either Mr. Miyagi didn't know it because there was no inclination to that in part two, from what I remember, except for saying it's Soto's nephew. If I heard that correctly, and please comment below if I did not. Maybe soon, I'm a little busy, but maybe soon I can get to watch part two and see exactly what happens. But that's my prediction, is now that I say it out loud, I think it's going to be the one that Daniel fought in part two, and he turns out to be a good guy. I think they run into each other in Okinawa, and maybe Daniel was going through some of Mr. Miyagi's old stuff, and he walked in, because he would be an older guy also. Don't forget, 30 years later, I mean, even though Daniel LaRusso, not his character, but him in real life, he's in his 60s, but he would be playing, I guess, in his 50s. So it would kind of make sense. And he's maybe living in Mr. Miyagi's old place or something like that. But that's my prediction. That's my theory. Again, I said it before a couple of months ago that I believe it is one of, or the show needs to bring out another Mr. Miyagi type or something like that. I think that would throw a great twist and also, still keep it towards the Karate Kid concept instead of going off in different tangents. And yeah, let's see. I'm ready, and I was so excited to find out that it had already hit Netflix and was on Netflix already. And I can't wait for season 3 to come out. And, just to reiterate one more time, I really believe, now that, again, I'm saying it out loud, that the person is going to be the one that Daniel fought in season 2. And the biggest secret that Mr. Miyagi was holding out is maybe he found out after the fact, because, again, he rekindled his relationship with that other lady, I forgot her name, and maybe that was their son. Maybe that's the biggest secret. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys like more. Like, subscribe. I appreciate feedback, and I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys are getting through COVID. God bless, and I will see you guys next time.